Sometimes I wear like short, shiny clothes.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, but then why are you crying in a freezer? It's not adding up or making sense. Like, pick a personality and stick to it. But I don't see why the two should be correlated. I think with me, it's more about protecting my own identity because I have a tendency in relationships to become devoted and all about the other person, which is counterproductive to me as an actor and as an artist, I think. Like, there'll be a headline of netizens say, "Motapa chupane ke liye dupatta ko idhar kiya," trolled for looking fat or trolled for expose top or like whatever, which I mean, rewarding toxic social behavior, which I think is counterproductive for us as a society.
Hello everyone, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Speak Easy. My guest today is super hardworking and super right now gorgeous. I don't think it matters whether it's dad's production or not. You've been this person. So the break hasn't happened in between, has it?
No, it hasn't.
And you don't want one either?
No, I'm so lucky that my problem is that I'm busy. It's, I think, a very good problem to have. I'm very thankful. It's nothing to complain
But are you
about.
truly feeling okay?
No, it's okay. I think that I'm young now. Now's the time to work. If not now, then when? And if I don't push myself now, then someone else will. And I only won't be able to sleep at night, so it's all good.
Mili, I feel, is yet another addition to your I'm going to definitely do interesting characters zone. And you're walking the talk. Tell me a little on that.
I mean, honestly, I'm just doing and I guess picking films that I find challenging and therefore exciting. And I think Mili as an opportunity was something that I couldn't say no to, especially after I met Mathu sir. I think initially when Papa told me about the film, I was a little bit like, I don't know, it is another remake and I don't know if I should. And I remember Papa getting very emotional and very like, if I need to make this film because the father and the daughter in the film are exactly like me and you and it's like us. And he was so moved by it. And I was like, if I'm going to work with my father, which I hadn't up until that point, then maybe this is the right way to do it. But still, I met Mathu sir and I realized that, and I've felt this about remakes since there have been so many. I think that if the agenda and the intention of the filmmaker is to just put together a project that's proven to be viable before, just to make money, then I think that that's sad and unsatisfactory for everyone involved, audiences included. But I think if the intention is to tell the story with a new lens so that it reaches more people, and because, so I think the Malayalam film was made in a certain budget and it was his first film. I think he also wanted the opportunity to do it once again in a way that maybe he couldn't have so much in the original. And he just had such a purist attitude towards what he wanted to do. And he's worked so much on the story and I just wanted to be a part of it. Because it really did seem like an opportunity for me to do something that I don't know if other actors would have. I know this sounds arrogant, but like to lock yourself up in a freezer isn't really going to get me a lot of, you know what I mean? It's not like a conventional choice, but it just felt like something different that I wanted to try.
But I would say like in today's time, I think people want to do characters like this. You know, I'm sure there are a lot of actors who will be like, I wish I had got that too. But you're right, in a way, a lot of people wouldn't want to put themselves in that position again. But here's my question to you. You said that, besides the fact that it was a remake, you also said that, you haven't done a film with your dad's production, and I feel like it also comes from all the conversation that they've been having with you about, it's been privileged and nepotism and all of that. Have you kept yourself away and said no to a lot of things because it was also your dad's production house?
I think initially the decision to not do my first film with my father did come from that thought. And then, I think after that also, it would have been very convenient and easy for me to be like, okay, Papa, here's a story. Or for him to come to me with a story and put it together. I think it would have been quite simple and straightforward, but I think that both of us made that decision consciously. I think more for me to prove to myself in whatever small way that I could that, I mean, like, it was, I guess, in the audience's perspective, everything is the easy way out for me, but this would have been an even easier way out. So I think I tried staying away from it for as long as possible. But this felt like, it just felt like the right thing to do.
Every time I talk to you more, you are very sure of which direction you're going. I know in between you always
That's
had...
very ironic because I don't know what the hell I'm doing
Really?
99% of the time.
But really, but you do know... Like,
I mean, I really do hope so. I'm praying to God that it's right only. But I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a calculative approach to any of it. I think that it's more personal. It's more selfish almost. Like I know we make films for audiences and for their love and to entertain them and move them. But I think it's also very personal because my selfishness to grow through experiences and films and directors and stories means a lot to me. And I think to prove to myself that I took up on a daunting challenge and hopefully emerged from it makes me respect myself a little bit more in my eyes, and that means a lot to me because I think, और मैंने पहले भी ये कहा था, मौके तो आसानी से मिल गए लेकिन इज्जत नहीं मिली तो उसी के लिए काम करना है अभी.
And because you said that, मिली की इज्जत के अलावा मिली से और क्या मिल रही है आपको? What have you learned from मिली? क्या मिला है आपको?
You know, I really don't know how this sounds because no one's seen the film yet, and it shouldn't be anticlimactic once they see the film because I've overhyped this freezer thing so much. But I really think after shooting for that portion for those 20 days and shooting the way that we did and just going through the turmoil and trauma and pain that I think a lot of us did while we shot that, I think after that I felt like most other things should feel easy. At least in the space of emotionally pushing yourself, I still think with comedy and light-hearted things and timing, there's a technical aspect that I haven't really explored. But I think with things that have to do with emotional trauma and all of that, I think that this was really like, I don't know how it could possibly get worse than this.
How do you take care of your mental health as an actor when you do characters like this? I know actors who talk about how when you do certain characters that are have their own emotional journeys and they go through traumas, they say like, we also have to take a step back if you're very into it. Tell me how you detach and how do you take care of your mental health?
Oh, it was hard during this shoot. I remember, I think for the last week of it, me and my team, we'd all become like zombies only because we were waking up early, 15 hours we were in that freezer. Between shots we'd come out, but we'd try not to because outside it was like some 37 degrees and inside it was minus 15, so you'd fall even more sick. I remember when I'd go home to sleep at night, all the dreams that I would have would always be that I'm like stuck in this freezer and I need to get out, and it was just taking a toll on our health. But every day, I remember after we'd finish a day of shoot, however exhausted we were, it always felt like, okay, we're trying something different, our approach is different, and we've pushed ourselves a lot today. And that feeling of satisfaction and fulfillment that comes with that feeling of like, पूरी तरह से खुद को निचोड़ लिया है, कुछ नहीं बाकी है अंदर. There's a weird high in it. There's a weird high when you run a 14-minute long take and you're freezing and you're not pretending to shiver and you're struggling to build this igloo as fast as possible because that means you can get to the part of the film where you're inside the igloo where you might be a little warm for the next 2 days when you shoot that sequence. Like that urgency and desperation was so real and it was so interesting to have a camera capture that. I think it was an experience that I'll cherish, however traumatic.
God, it sounds so scary when you say that, Lala. I feel like you are being fearless about your choices. Tell me, but what are the other challenges that you face? I remember in the beginning you told me that it was a challenge to tell them that, I can be different characters and one that is working for me. Like if you've done Dhadak, then, my characters have to be different from that. Cannot be reflective. I don't want to be boxed. But what are the new ones that have been added?
I think that, just what you said, I think that it's human nature to compartmentalize people and not just people that are from the industry. After Dhadak, I got a lot of roles that were similar to Dhadak, that or roles that didn't have, that would let me do much at all. After Gunjan, I got a lot of roles that were me being semi-C, vulnerable, doe-eyed and innocent. After Jerry, suddenly I've gotten a lot of roles where I'm playing like some chalak girl. So there is a tendency for audiences and people in the industry alike to compartmentalize you. And I find that boring and counterproductive to an artist's growth. I also think another challenge that I faced, and a lot of people have asked me this in interviews, is that your persona on, I guess, social media or in life is very different from the characters that you do. And I think that, because sometimes I wear like short, shiny clothes, they're like, wait, but then why are you crying in a freezer? It's not adding up or making sense. Like, pick a personality and stick to it. But I don't see why the two should be correlated. Like, I don't take myself that seriously in life, and that's fine. I like to like live my life, and in my art and in my work, I like to push myself, and that's fine too. And hopefully, people can get past the dilemma of putting people in a box.
But I also feel like people forget that you're also young and you will have insecurities. I know that people usually assume that actors have a team to make them look glamorous, that they don't. But I also feel that you're really sort of channelizing your energy in a nice way, that you want to be whoever you are on your social media account. I feel it's a celebration of your own sexuality. And that often, like I also see, leads to a lot of slut shaming. Sometimes are you tempted to almost like retort and sort of give it back? Because I feel like it's your space, you get to be who you want to be, whether it's, sexy or whether it's simple.
I don't feel the need to retort, really. I've said that there's a tendency for media portals to propagate negative comments or like troll comments or whatever you call it. Like there'll be a headline of netizens say, मोटापा छुपाने के लिए दुपट्टा को इधर किया, trolled for looking fat or trolled for expose top or like whatever, which I mean,
YouTube is another very dark zone to get into.
It's all dark.
It's disgusting.
It's all dark. It's fine. I mean, I get it. I just think that what we're doing as media portals is rewarding toxic social behavior, which I think is counterproductive for us as a society, and especially when you're openly validating an opinion that demeans a woman. There were 5-6 other comments that said something nice. वो कुछ नहीं, उससे headline नहीं बनाएंगे, which is fine. I mean, I get it. You'll get your clickbait. But will it harm us so much? मतलब इतना damage हो जाएगा अगर वो negative comment को ना डाले. You might. I just think that you're making it feel like it's okay to say nasty things. You're making it feel like you'll get a reward and you'll get attention for being nasty, which it's just the start of a dangerous cycle, and I feel it's only going to get worse. I think I'm over it. I've read and seen the worst of it all. So it doesn't affect me, I think. And as corny as it sounds, it's coming more from a place of my sister's going to probably bear a much worse phase of it than I've been privy to, because it's only going to get worse. And it's only going to get worse for the girls that are, it's just, I don't see who is going to win from this situation.
But I feel like you have been dealing with all of that and more. And that's why I said, when you said about the account thing, that people are almost say that, oh, but you're this sexy person, and then how will you play that? But I feel like, isn't your own profile supposed to make you feel like you can be real? Can be who you are, right? Like,
I mean, it's not that real also. It's all me. It's just the best thing is to not take any of this too seriously. What you need to take seriously is what happens between action and cut and leading up to that. Anything and everything else, I'm honestly tired of people telling me to take it seriously. Like yesterday, I cancelled these interviews because I was really unwell.
She was very, very unwell.
And I've gotten told by so many people how important it is to create a perception, and you've gotten this performance-oriented film, it's important to drive the perception. And I was like, if I think about that, then who's going to think about the other stuff? I can see all of the looks coming.
No, but I feel like at the end, you're also human. It's not like you have superpowers suddenly to, I'm playing a strong character. You're someone who's always said that you're a die-hard romantic and you want that in your life. But because of where we are heading with all these discussions, does it also make you feel like you will be that person who would not want to put her, life out there when she's eventually in love or eventually with someone, because I feel like you'll probably fiercely protect it, is what I feel from your conversation. Am I right?
I think with me, it's more about protecting my own identity because I have a tendency in relationships to become like devoted and all about the other person, which is
lot of us.
counterproductive to me as an actor and as an artist, I think. And what I've realized is that you need to be okay on your own, and you need to be very supremely happy on your own. And whoever you're with should make you then happier, but like them not in the equation shouldn't make you any less of a
Yeah,
person in
like,
any way.
To
And
believe that only they can complete you is a very
I think
problematic thing.
that's problematic for yourself, for the other person, for everything. And I've learned this the hard way, I think.
The hard way, I think all of us are learning that the hard way only. But tell me one thing, is it, when your father's the producer particularly, and he's someone who's, of course, I think he's the nicest person. I feel like he's obviously like every other dad, he's cheering for you and all of that. But does it get, for you, are you even more conscious on the set?
No, I wasn't even more conscious. He didn't come on set at all,
At all,
except for
right?
like one lunch break and one day in Dehradun. He didn't come on set at all, but he was... The only difference was, I think, if I fall sick on another set or if something happens on another set, the producer would have probably not known about it.
Yeah.
But over here, I was coming home to my producer, and
He knew everything.
he knew everything.
That
yeah.
must not be very easy.
You know, he was wearing the producer hat throughout, and I was wearing the actor hat throughout.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
You said that your parents wanted you to be a doctor.
Yeah, can you imagine?
I-
With my limited
Why not? I'm
qualifications.
Listen, I'm wrong. My father was a doctor. There is an expectation that I will take science. You know what I mean? So it's okay. We're always disappointing their dreams. But it must have been, when you think about that you eventually got to play on, and in that zone on screen, must have been interesting. You're like, this is what they wanted. Well, I'm doing it somehow.
No, but I remember mom used to say, I want you to become a doctor when you grow up and this. And then I said, Mama, I'll become an actor, but I promise you I'll play the role of a doctor in one film. And so
you made it happen.
I mean, I'm not really playing a doctor in this
but
film, but
close enough, right?
as close as I'm going to get, I think.
If everybody's listening,
No,
we
please
still
don't
have
cast me as a doctor.
Don't.
I mean, if it's a good film. and
If it's a good film, why not? I want to know which actor and one director. That in the recent times, since the time we last met, there have been a lot of additions and a lot of discussions of new actors who've come up, and the ones who are already there doing great work. Tell me the ones that you hope that you get to work with and why.
I think Sanjay sir, and I
There are
really...
two Sanjay. So Sanjay Leela Bansali. I'm
Yes,
hoping.
yes. And also I really want to do an out-and-out comedy, somewhere where, a film where I can dabble with the humor. So I mean, I'm not sure who, but anyone with a good
But
script.
there are very strong rumors that you're part of Bade Miyan Chote Miyan. Look at that. I've heard it's a lot of comedy there as well. There you go. See, I just know. But if you are a part of the film, I think it'll be exciting to see you doing something interesting again, taking a U-turn from what we see you in. On that note, is all I'm going to get, isn't it? Again, let's do Okay, there you go. Mr. and Mrs. Mahi is definitely not going to leave you very, very soon.
It's become Pakiza. It's become boyhood. It's just going on.
But I don't think he's going to be happy that you made the boyhood comment. It took a really long time for boyhood.
No, but you know what I mean? Like it's,
Yeah,
I think,
know what you mean.
But most of that has to do with my injuries and other things, but it's fine. I think it's a film that's so special, and for everything that everyone's putting into it, I believe from the bottom of my heart that it's going to be very special.
Let's, of course, do little fun questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What's one thing that you can't do without? It can be anything.
My family.
It's true. First thing that you have to do in the morning.
Look at my wallpaper.
And what does it say?
It's a picture of me and mom.
How sweet. Do you have vision boards?
No. I don't have a vision board. I think I attempted one once, but then the app got very expensive, so I was like, screw this.
One question I hope you are never asked again?
One question I hope I'm never. Oh, this cheese platter questions.
It's done now.
Yeah.
Done with. Are they continuing? Either it was over.
No, till yesterday, though it was happening.
Okay, no more cheese platters.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, one thing that you regret that you haven't been able to do yet?
I've not been able to do a classical dance in a film yet, or like a period-ish. I mean, I enjoy Kathak and classical dance a lot. I'm not trained in it, but I'm dying to do that on screen.
Mr. Bansali, I just thought I'll do a little pause and look in the camera for you and say it. Okay, but what is one thing that you have in, it can be material or whatever, that you always keep with you as luck?
I always travel when I'm shooting. There's like a thali with a few idols of gods and a picture of mom and dad.
How sweet is that?
It's always at my bedside.
An actor you definitely want to work with?
Ranveer? Ranveer.
Okay, you've been giving that vibe. I hope that happens. I'm going to wrap because they're going to kill me otherwise. But thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun,
Thank
Janhvi,
you.
as always. And I'm giving you so much love and
Thank you.
and also a lot of good vibes so that you feel better.
Thank you so much.
Thank you once again.
Thank you.